Dutch. Hello everyone. I am making this video in response to Nick's request for what people get out of their religion. I've tried living with and without religion. I have tried living with and without spirituality. I find living with both religion and spirituality to be better for me. And I do mean for me. My son came up to me a couple of years ago and said, "Mom, yes, Richard Dawkins is an atheist." Now, I only just heard of Richard Dawkins, and I said, "Oh, okay, that's nice." And no, he really is an atheist, and blah, 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 blah. And I realized that my son was trying to get me engaged in an argument. And it's like, no, if Mr. Dawkins finds that the satisfying way to live, fine. Who am I to say anything about that? And who is Mr. Dawkins to say anything about the way I live? The way I find my religion adds to my life. The way I find life without spirituality to be flat, life without religion to be boring. It's like, okay, fine. I have no argument with the atheists. I see whether to atheism or religion or belief or whatever is a choice. And end of discussion. Okay. The main benefit I get from practicing my religion is a sense of peace. I've tried making this video a few times, and there's a few things I've had to get past. One is I look like what I look like. Two, I have to enunciate so that you can understand what I'm saying. And the third thing is, every time I thought I was ready, a new idea would come up. And the very last one, which was just 2 seconds ago, was that my religion has given me freedom. It's given me freedom from the expectations of others, from the unreasonable expectations of others. If I say I'm going to do something, then it is perfectly reasonable for someone to expect that I actually do it. The one right before that was that I should mention that I have started this process in 1982, in August. It's been nearly 30 years. And over this time, I've become convinced that as wondrous as the world I can perceive with my ordinary senses is, that there is much, much more. Without my spirituality, my life was flat. It's like looking at a picture. I wasn't involved, I wasn't in it, I wasn't in the frame. I was just looking. Without that, it's bleh, tasteless. I mean, when Andromeda's Wake shows some of his astronomical stuff, because of my spirituality, I am there. I am in that galaxy. And that is fantastic. And since practicing my religion, and I mean practicing, since doing the things that my religion asks of me, I have been able to truly multitask. I can see a tree in all its facets while I'm driving, while I'm figuring out what I'm going to say at the meeting. It's not distracted driving. These mental processes drop off as needed in decreasing order of importance. My religion gives me a place to come back to that does not depend on people, on the weather, what sports team won or lost. It's completely independent of, I guess, what could be called the outside world. It gives me a place that is constant. It gives me a center. It gives me a sense of being connected to all existence, both living and not. The rocks are alive. I have a bachelor's degree in geology. And I have absolutely no problem with appreciating what the rocks can tell me spiritually and the scientific processes which formed them. They're both there. There's no conflict. I do not need religion to realize that the calcium in my bones is the same as that in yonder limestone, and they are both put here during the formation of the sun. But it adds so much more when put in a spiritual context. Through my religion, I'm able to be connected without being entangled. Time was that I was either isolated or entangled in people's dramas. Now, I can be involved in people's concerns and stay out of their dramas. It's fantastic. Through my religion, I'm able to see the beauty in the earth, in the heavens, and in humans. And I'm able to accept every person as a human being, regardless of anything they've done. My entire life has become numinous. And when that numinosity fades, I return to the center, and it comes back. I'm able to accept challenges with confidence because of the peace I get from practicing my religion, because of that center. And I have finally, in my mid-50s, found life goals. At least I've found a path towards certain objectives. And this is a direct result of practicing my religion. My religion has given me the tool of right brain discernment. When I have to decide quickly whether or not something is dangerous, I have been mostly right. I have always been right when it's counted. And this discernment has saved my life. I have no fear of death. The fear of dying remains, especially of dying in a protracted and painful manner. But what is around the corner after death holds no cold hand on my heart. Time was when I was afraid of death to the point of obsession, which was really a nice way to live, being obsessed with something that terrified me. I spent most of my time thinking about death and being terrified. The sense of peace is good. The self-improvement is good. But better than either of these is the connection to the divine. And that is so wondrous that the risk of being proved wrong is trivial. The risk of, rather, the certainty that I look like a fool in the eyes of some others is less than trivial. It's just laughable to even consider dropping this connection for somebody else's opinion. Unfathomable. Completely unfathomable. And I'm going to do a shout out here to Soul Fetcher. One word, Soul Fetcher. I bounce around. I don't know how many subscriptions I've got, maybe 100. But his are extremely valuable to me. The depth that the man presents is amazing. I've even transcribed a couple of his to send to a shut-in. Just amazing. That's Soul Fetcher. Soul Fetcher. Thank you. I will summarize by saying that through practicing my religion, I have found peace and direction. Thank you. Bye.